Today in New York City, a tragic Harlem shooting leaves 1 dead and 2 injured.
I'm Leah.
And I'm Garrett. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day, with Leah and Garrett in New York City.
First up, tragic Harlem shooting leaves 1 dead, 2 injured. A shooting late Friday night, July 10th, on Malcolm S. Boulevard near the north edge of Central Park. Police say 35-year-old Keanu Rochford, a former college and professional basketball player who spent time in European leagues, was shot in the head and pronounced dead at Mount Sinai Morningside. That's the hospital on the Upper West Side. A 28-year-old man and a 22-year-old woman were also hit and taken to Harlem Hospital, where they're listed as stable. This happened near a public housing complex, meaning city-owned apartments. NYPD says no arrests yet. The investigation is ongoing under the 28th Precinct, which covers central Harlem. It's heartbreaking, and it reopens safety worries in that area, even as the 28th Precinct has actually recorded fewer shooting victims compared with last year. That's a tough contrast to hold at once.
Yeah, not gonna lie, that's heavy, and it's complicated. You can have a decrease on paper while a single incident still shakes a neighborhood. Why does that happen? How can both be true?
Short answer. Numbers are trends. Lives are individual. A season of fewer shootings overall can still include an isolated act that's devastating. Sometimes it's a targeted dispute, sometimes a chance encounter. We'll learn more as detectives piece it together.
For sure. This is where collaboration matters. Community groups, residents, and the precinct working in tandem can keep the overall trend headed in the right direction. That's the hope. If you're nearby, give space to the investigation and keep an eye out for official updates from NYPD. Next up, Trump administration revives controversial ICE detention center plan in New Jersey. The idea is to convert a $130 million warehouse in Roxbury in Morris County into a 1,500-bed facility. ICE stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the federal agency that handles immigration detention and enforcement. State and local leaders in New Jersey from both parties are pushing back. They're citing environmental concerns and say the plan may violate environmental laws. That's under dispute in court. The Department of Homeland Security, which oversees ICE, reversed course after the project seemed shelved last month. So now there are active legal challenges again. New Jersey and Roxbury officials are pressing the case, with a status report due soon.
Real talk. If environmental laws apply, they apply. Environmental compliance means following the rules that protect air, water, and land, and usually requires a formal review, often called an environmental impact statement, which is just a detailed report on potential harms. The bipartisan pushback is notable. When leaders across the aisle line up together, that signals the legal questions have some heft. Importantly, humane, lawful immigration policy matters. That means, at minimum, facilities meet standards for health and safety, and decisions follow the letter of the law. Courts will sort a lot of this, but the process is the point. Next up, emergency netting and support installed on Buckling Midtown NYC building. This is 235 East 42nd Street, the former Pfizer building. It's undergoing what city officials describe as the largest office-to-residential conversion in the country, turning offices into about 1,600 apartments. During work to add new floors, some columns buckled. Buckling is when a column loses its ability to stand straight under load. Crews installed safety netting, basically mesh to catch falling debris, and new support to stabilize the structure. Bricks had started falling, which led to vacate orders that told nearby buildings to clear out, and part of East 43rd Street was closed. The Department of Buildings has now ordered the developer to bring in a third-party engineering consultant, which means an outside engineer will independently check and oversee the fix. On top of that, there are financial questions. Developers Metroloft and David Werner Real Estate Investments reportedly have a $720 million loan, and delays can get expensive fast. Even if the building is stabilized now, timing, safety confidence, and leasing will decide whether the numbers still work.
That's a curveball for a project of this scale. If it's delivered safely, 1,600 apartments in Midtown could be meaningful for the housing crunch, but safety has to be airtight. Otherwise, any delay can ripple. Lenders get nervous, tenants get cautious, costs snowball. Yeah, that checks out. Let's keep it moving. Jersey City faces a 15.5% tax hike amid $58 million in spending cuts in the proposed budget. Mayor James Solomon is trying to close a $255 million deficit, which his team attributes to the prior administration under former Mayor Steve Fulop. The proposal pairs the tax hike with cuts and comes alongside $120 million in state aid. For an average homeowner, city officials say that hike is roughly $614 more per year. A quick definition: property tax is the tax on real estate, usually based on the property's assessed value. Notably, the City Council previously rejected a 15% hike before a detailed budget landed. The new formal introduction of the budget is set for July 15th.
That's a lot for families to absorb. I get that closing a $255 million gap needs real cuts. You can't wish that away. But accountability matters. If the deficit grew from past mismanagement, then clear public line-by-line budgeting helps people see exactly what's being fixed. Transparency in plain language builds trust. Last up, NYC launches free Parents' Night Out babysitting program for 500 kids. On August 16th, the Parks Department will host 100 children per borough, ages 6 to 13, at select recreation centers. Borough just means one of the city's 5 main divisions: Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, and Staten Island. Programming will include sports, arts and crafts, and nature education. Registration is online, first come, first served, open July 11th through July 20th. City Hall says this is the first time the city is doing a citywide Parents' Night Out, part of Mayor Zohran Mamdani's push to make life a bit more affordable and give parents a breather. It's a small number of slots, but it's a start. Pilot programs often test demand and logistics before scaling.
I'm down for that. Childcare relief, even for a night, can be a big deal. If it works smoothly, maybe it expands. That's something to chew on, huh? And hey, the activities lineup sounds solid. Structured fun, safe setting, free of charge. That's pretty cool, right?
Thanks for tuning in to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in New York City.
Have a great day, and be sure to join us again tomorrow.